HOA cut power to my home during a storm. Didn't know I own the utility company. Update 3. By the following week, Karen's nightmare had fully materialized in the form of a single piece of paper. A crisp white envelope stamped with the logo of my company was slid under the HOA clubhouse door early Monday morning. Inside was the updated commercial billing statement. The number was bold, unavoidable, and delivered like a slap across the face, $17,243.89. The itemized breakdown included everything from unauthorized load usage to the penalty charges for smart meter tampering, with neat notes beside each line. Filed per code section 14.3, infrastructure misuse. Karen didn't take it well. The HOA group chat, yes, the same one I had complete access to, was pure chaos. Messages flew back and forth faster than I could scroll. One neighbor was furious that her power bill had tripled without warning. Another was threatening to sue the HOA for endangering seniors on oxygen. Someone even uploaded a screenshot of their frozen dinner defrosting mid-cycle. Karen tried to play it off, saying it was a clerical error, and that she had it under control. That was a mistake. Later that day, one of the residents, Edgar, a retired judge, who normally stayed out of neighborhood politics, marched into the HOA office and demanded answers. I had surveillance footage from the drone that caught the whole interaction. Karen tried to bluff, claiming the billing was being reviewed. But Edgar calmly explained that he'd already contacted the utility company's legal department and received confirmation that the reclassification was legal. He then asked her if she had documentation proving her authority to override grid access during a storm. She had none. That night, Karen held a closed-door emergency board meeting, but the minutes were leaked within the hour. Apparently, her plan was to bribe a technician from the utility company to fix the meters back to residential settings under the table. She didn't realize the technician she called was part of our compliance sting. We'd been waiting for her to make a move like this. The conversation was recorded, filed, and quietly sent out to every single resident in the HOA through an anonymous email link. Watching the fallout was like watching dominoes fall, each one smacking the next with a satisfying thud. Some neighbors laughed, some were furious, but everyone agreed. Karen had gone too far. It didn't help that the footage showed her offering the guy a gift card and a bottle of wine in exchange for resetting some numbers. Her voice, high and smug, carried through the video. It's not tampering if nobody reports it. They reported it. To turn the screws even more, I authorized a temporary scheduled maintenance blackout for grid calibration. The beauty of the system was that it could be directed block by block, street by street, or house by house. I didn't target everyone. That would have been cruel. No, I picked only the key players in Karen's circle. Her house, her cousin's crypto bunker, and the HOA clubhouse. Power to all three was shut down at precisely 8 p.m. on Friday, right as Karen prepared for her live-streamed interview with a local podcast about community leadership. She had candles burning in the background, and was mid-sentence when the lights went out. Her reaction was pure gold, a gasp followed by an unhinged, "What the hell?" Meanwhile, every other house on the block remained fully powered. In fact, I'd made sure of it. I even had the lineman leave a little tag on her breaker box section isolated for audit. She knew what it meant, everyone else did too. The podcast never aired. The backlash reached its peak that weekend. A group of residents called an emergency community meeting. Karen tried to cancel it, citing unfair targeting and personal harassment, but it was too late. The people had had enough. One woman stood up and shouted, "I didn't vote for a dictator." Another, holding her frozen groceries that had thawed twice, screamed, "You owe me 3 lasagnas." But the real turning point came when a man from Unit 12 read out the HOA's own charter and pointed to the clause that allowed for immediate recall of any board member acting beyond their authority. The twist: only registered utility-paying members had the right to vote. Normally, that would have included Karen, but due to her illegal tampering, her utility access had been locked pending review. She wasn't technically a customer at that moment. She was flagged as a suspended account. That meant she couldn't vote, and neither could her allies. I watched it unfold via Nolan's hidden feed from his phone. The vote wasn't even close. Within 15 minutes, Karen was removed as president of the HOA, stripped of her authority, and replaced by a soft-spoken grandmother named Doey, who brought cookies to the meeting. Karen protested, ranted about bylaws and deep state utility hacks, but no one listened. In fact, the only thing anyone said to her as she packed up her things was, "Don't forget your wine bottle bribe." As Karen stomped away, someone from the back of the room played a recording of her infamous line, "It's not tampering if nobody reports it." The room erupted in laughter. It was over, but I wasn't done yet. After the vote, the HOA board received a cease and desist letter from my company's legal division. It outlined every infraction, every violation, and every piece of evidence collected. It made it clear that if one more unauthorized adjustment was made to the grid, the entire neighborhood would be restructured into commercial rates permanently. They were given 30 days to complete infrastructure reforms and submit new compliance protocols. Karen, now dethroned and disgraced, tried to challenge the vote. She sent a letter to the county. Unfortunately for her, the county utilities supervisor happened to be my cousin Roger, a man with no patience for nonsense and a deep appreciation for justice served cold. He dismissed her complaint in one sentence: "Tampering with power infrastructure is not a community right, it's a felony." As news of her downfall spread, the HOA's private Facebook group, once a battlefield of passive-aggressive memes and petty arguments, became a celebration thread. Neighbors posted RIP Karen's rain memes and jokes about the great lasagna outage. One even made a mock energy bill with Karen tax listed as a line item. My house stayed dark for a few more days, not because I had to, but because I liked the symbolism. I only restored it once. Doi, the new president, sent me a handwritten note with a plate of cookies and an apology on behalf of the community that I could accept. Now you can watch the fourth part by pressing share and more.